It was a warm summer afternoon in a small village surrounded by green hills and tall trees. The village was peaceful, with people going about their daily chores, children playing in the fields, and birds chirping in the trees. Among these children was a boy named Sam. Sam was 12 years old and loved adventure more than anything else. He was always looking for something exciting to do, and his best friend, Lily, was always by his side. Lily was the same age as Sam, with bright red hair and a brave heart. One afternoon, after school, Sam and Lily decided to go on an adventure. They had heard a rumor in the village about a hidden cave deep in the forest. The cave was said to be filled with mysteries and secrets that no one had ever discovered. Some said there was treasure hidden inside, while others believed it was haunted. Many villagers had warned them to stay away from the cave, but the warnings only made Sam and Lily more curious. "We should go and find the hidden cave," Sam said excitedly as they walked down the village path. Lily nodded eagerly. "Yes. No one in the village has ever found it. Imagine if we are the first ones to discover it. We could be famous." Sam grinned. "Or we could find treasure and be rich." They both laughed, filled with excitement. They packed a few sandwiches, water bottles, and a flashlight into a small backpack and set off toward the forest. The trees were tall and thick, casting long shadows on the ground. The forest was quiet, except for the occasional sound of birds and rustling leaves. Sam and Lily had often played in the forest, but this time it felt different. There was a sense of mystery in the air, as if the forest itself was hiding a secret. As they walked deeper into the woods, they followed a small, winding path that seemed to go on forever. They crossed small streams, climbed over fallen logs, and occasionally stopped to rest. After about an hour of walking, they came to a clearing. In the middle of the clearing was a large rock, and behind it, half hidden by bushes, was the entrance to a cave. "This must be it," Sam whispered, feeling a mixture of excitement and nervousness. Lily stood next to him, staring at the dark entrance. "It looks a bit creepy, doesn't it?" Sam nodded but didn't let his fear stop him. "Come on, let's check it out." They walked closer to the cave. The entrance was small, barely big enough for them to squeeze through. Sam pulled out the flashlight and shone it into the darkness. The inside of the cave looked damp, with jagged rocks lining the walls. Taking a deep breath, Sam crawled into the entrance, followed closely by Lily. Once inside, the air felt cool and damp, and their footsteps echoed off the cave walls. The light from the flashlight revealed that the cave was much bigger than they had expected. It wasn't just a small tunnel, it stretched deep into the earth, with several narrow passages branching off in different directions. "Which way should we go?" Lily asked, her voice bouncing off the walls of the cave. Sam pointed to the largest passage. "Let's go this way. It looks like the main tunnel." They walked slowly, their footsteps crunching on the rocky ground. The deeper they went, the darker and quieter it became. Soon, they could no longer hear the birds or the wind from outside. It was just them, the flashlight, and the sound of dripping water echoing through the cave. After a few minutes of walking, they came to a large open chamber. The flashlight revealed strange markings on the walls. They looked like old symbols or drawings, but neither Sam nor Lily could understand what they meant. "What do you think these are?" Lily asked, tracing one of the symbols with her finger. "I don't know," Sam replied, "but they must be really old." As they stood there, staring at the symbols, they suddenly heard a noise. It was faint at first, like a soft rustling sound, but it quickly grew louder. Sam and Lily froze, their hearts racing. "Did you hear that?" Sam whispered. Lily nodded, her eyes wide with fear. "What is it?" Before they could figure it out, the ground beneath their feet began to shake. The walls of the cave trembled, and small rocks fell from the ceiling. "An earthquake!" Sam shouted. "We need to get out of here." They turned and ran back toward the entrance, but as they did, one of the narrow passages collapsed, blocking their way. The rocks fell so fast that Sam and Lily barely escaped being trapped. They stopped in their tracks, breathing heavily, staring at the blocked path. "We're trapped," Lily said in a shaky voice. Sam tried to stay calm. "There has to be another way out. We just need to stay calm and find it." They turned back and decided to explore the other passages, hoping one of them would lead to an exit. As they walked, the cave seemed to grow darker and colder. The air was thick, and the sound of dripping water grew louder. The suspense was growing with each step they took. Suddenly, they saw a faint light in the distance. It was dim, but it was definitely there. "Look!" Lily pointed. "Do you see that light?" Sam nodded. "Let's go check it out." They hurried toward the light, their hearts pounding with both fear and hope. As they got closer, they realized the light was coming from a small opening in the cave wall. It was just big enough for them to crawl through. Sam went first, shining his flashlight ahead to see where it led. On the other side of the opening was another chamber, but this one was different from the others. It wasn't dark and damp like the rest of the cave. Instead, it was filled with soft, glowing light that seemed to come from the walls themselves. In the center of the chamber was a large stone table, and on top of the table was a box. The box was old, made of wood with golden carvings. It looked like something out of a fairy tale. "Do you think it's a treasure?" Lily whispered, her eyes wide with wonder. "I don't know," Sam replied, "but we should take a closer look." They walked up to the table and stared at the box. It had no lock, just a simple latch holding it closed. Sam hesitated for a moment, then slowly reached out and opened the latch. The lid of the box creaked as it opened, and inside, they found something unexpected. It wasn't gold or jewels. Instead, it was a book. The book was old, with a leather cover and yellowed pages. The title was written in a language they couldn't understand, but the first few pages were filled with strange drawings, maps, symbols, and pictures of people. "What is this?" Lily asked, flipping through the pages. "I don't know," Sam said, "but it looks important." As they looked through the book, they noticed something strange. The drawings in the book looked very similar to the symbols they had seen on the cave walls earlier. "Maybe this book is connected to the cave," Sam said. "Maybe it will help us find a way out." But before they could think any further, they heard the rustling noise again. This time, it was closer, much closer. The ground shook slightly, and a cold breeze blew through the chamber. Lily grabbed Sam's arm. "We need to leave. Now." Sam agreed. They closed the book, tucked it into their backpack, and hurried back through the small opening. The strange noise followed them, growing louder with each passing second. It sounded like something, or someone, was coming toward them. They ran through the cave, their hearts pounding in their chests. The flashlight flickered as they raced down the dark passages. Every turn seemed to lead them deeper into the cave, and the noise kept getting closer. The suspense was unbearable. Were they being chased? Was the cave alive? They didn't know, but they weren't going to stick around to find out. Finally, after what felt like hours of running, they saw a faint light ahead. It was the entrance. They were almost there. With one final burst of energy, they sprinted toward the light and burst out of the cave into the open air. They collapsed on the ground outside, gasping for breath. The sun was setting, and the forest was bathed in a golden glow. They had made it out, but they were still shaken by what they had experienced. Lily sat up and looked back at the cave. "What do you think that noise was?" Sam shook his head. "I don't know, but I don't think I want to find out." They sat there for a moment, catching their breath and calming down. Then Sam remembered the book. He pulled it out of his backpack and opened it again. The strange symbols and drawings stared back at them, but now they felt different. It was as if the book held answers to the mysteries of the cave, answers they weren't sure they wanted to know. "What should we do with this?" Lily asked. Sam thought for a moment. "I think we should keep it. Maybe we'll figure out what it all means one day." Lily nodded. "But let's not go back into that cave anytime soon." Sam laughed. "Agreed." They stood up, brushed off the dirt, and began walking back toward the village. The forest was quiet again, and the suspense of their adventure slowly faded away. But they both knew that the mystery of the hidden cave would stay with them forever. As they walked, the sun dipped below the horizon, and the stars began to appear in the sky. Sam and Lily didn't say